ヤギ様から盗み取った北斗神拳、とくと味わわせてやるわ。
Hello everybody, my name is Midway and I welcome you all to another video. We are looking at Margrave STRADAMA on a Tyrannical plus 28 Plaguefall. We're going to be commenting over this boss fight, what's going on in it, and a little bit on how I approach it and I think it should be approached. Now I think this fight is really all about planning ahead of time, thinking what cooldowns you're going to be using at what points, and what or who you are going to be dispelling and at what points. So it's going to be very important to have a plan and stick to it. I would personally recommend sticking to using one charge of Vanquisher's Hammer per reign. And this is not a clean fight, I already advise you. I didn't really initially want to upload this because I don't play this cleanly at all. However, I think it still stands for a good set for an explanation, so might as well use the footage. I thought so. And yeah, well, we are getting more reigns, and it's really all about deciding, okay, who am I going to be dispelling, and then going for that when you see fit. I would recommend dispelling at 3 stacks instead of 4 stacks, and the reason for that is because by the time the 4 stack has come, if you are hyper fixated on the dispel and really tunnel visioning it, which is something that I have happened sometimes when I'm just really panicky onto, oh shit, I need to dispel somebody and the damage is already rolling. You kind of freeze and then you wait until you have dispelled to keep the healing going, or otherwise heal too early because you don't want to be GCD'd and then not dispel when somebody really needs it. Anyways, I think that if you dispel at 3 stacks, that is less likely to happen because at that point the damage hasn't really kicked in just yet. By the way, here we are resetting the buff from the slime with a fleshcraft. We didn't manage to drop the fleshcraft next to the boss. We kind of just misplayed over there. But yeah, I do think that dispelling at 3 stacks is likely much safer than doing it at 4 stacks, although of course you're gonna get more value out of doing it at 4 stacks. As I said, one charge of Vanquisher's Hammer is probably the play if you can manage with that, and aim yourself towards your allies, because I do not do this right here. You can see I'm still just aiming towards the boss. I did say this is not a good example of how to really play this fight, but if you aim towards your allies, you're able to have the spatial awareness of where people are and get the max value out of Light of Dawn here. That would take you a long way, and you can most definitely make it through with only one charge of Vanquisher's Hammer per reign. It's going to be very important, especially for the last phase. I want to point out that we have 3 poison dispels, we have 2 monks, and we have of course me. And the poison dispel from the tank will usually be used on themselves. The tank damage on this fight is very high and you do not want them dying. That would instantly be a wipe, so most likely they're going to be needing it for themselves. However, we can play around with the Windwalker's dispel and decide who would be the ideal target for the dispel at what scenarios. Now usually we are going to have Divine Protection every 3 reigns, so we are usually going to be decently good. We can of course play around with Bubble at some point and Devotion Aura, but if we could try and min-max who really needs a dispel at what points by deciding who's using what CDs at what time, that is really what makes it or breaks it for this fight. Now here you can see I panicked. I didn't even use my Vanquisher's Hammer charge. I was out of position. I didn't use my horse in time. I didn't even think I had it ready, so I basically panicked and I just was not ready. I didn't stick to my game plan. The dispels were a bit of a mess because I said we have 3 dispels, and I was wondering, wait, is the person, did I actually dispel or did somebody else dispel? I was just simply too slow. And that's the kind of thing that happens when you do not stick to your game plan, where you do not arrange who's dispelling who before the thing happens, and you just get caught off guard, you panic at some situation and you stop thinking. That's when you basically have this happen. The boss fight is not that hard, it's just a matter of planning and properly executing, almost like every other boss, but in this case the panic scenario seems to be always what gets you. But that's going to be it for this fight. Yeah, let me know what you thought about it, if you have any more questions or if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye!